Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio with mydigitalaccounts.com, the smart accountant for the digital age, specialising in online accounts and tax returns. Call us today on 0161 925 6162 for a friendly chat about your accounting needs, or visit at mydigitalaccounts.com.
If a
Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio.
Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to Woking. Welcome to Stockport County Live. County back on the road this weekend, looking to get 3 points, hopefully even looking to get back into those playoff places. County, of course, a decent win last weekend at home to Bromley. Stopped the rot, if you like, if that's a fair word to say. Amidst all the new signings and the new era at Stockport County, finally a win was greeted welcomely. County on the road today at Woking, who could leapfrog the Hatters if they get the win, but results going their way today. County could find themselves in those playoff places. The man to my left, as ever, Mr. John Kieran. John, a very good afternoon to yourself.
Hi, Chris.
Big game for County today, and I say that not just because it's the routine thing to say before games, but we were speaking off air. County get a win today and results go their way. We could potentially be in a very good position. County lose today and results go against them. They could be in a very negative position.
Absolutely right. And Jim Gannon, who may not have very fond memories of here at the Kingfield Stadium, because this is, of course, where former chairman Lord Snape famously let rip after a dismal 1-0 defeat at the end of 2012, ultimately prompting the club to unceremoniously sack the manager. But Jim Gannon, as you rightly say, looking upwards at the moment, and he's named the same 11 that started that win over Bromley last weekend. And why not? It was a terrific 1-0 victory at home to the Ravens. The only change is on the bench. Ben Jackson comes in. Eddie Clark is the man who makes way. Still no Paul Turnbull, the skipper, sitting out the final game of his 3-match ban. So County line up today with a familiar formation, really, a 4-2-3-1 with Ben Hinchliffe in goal. Back four, Sam Minihan, Ash Palmer. Liam Hogan, of course, scored that winning goal last weekend, and Dan Cowan at left back. The two holding midfielders today are Jordan Keane alongside Sam Walker. Nice balance there with a right footer and a left footer. Adam Thomas starts wide left. Adam Thomas wide right. Danny Lloyd wide left. And in the hole is Elliot Osborne behind lone striker Liam McAlinden. Subs today for the Hatters, goalkeeper Ian Ormson alongside Niall Bell, Ben Jackson, Festus Arthur and Connor DeMeo. Woking, well, they've had a topsy-turvy season so far. They stormed to the top of the table at the start of the season, winning 7 of their first 8 games in August, but that was followed by a winless run of 13 games throughout September and October until they came to Edgeley Park and stopped the Ross with a 3-1 win. And that sparked a mini revival at the time, but the Cards have really slumped again. They've lost 6 of their last 9, and they find themselves a bit like County, trying to claw back some lost ground to return to the top 7. And in truth, it's only their form here at the Kingfield Stadium which has kept them in the hunt. At home, Alan Dowson's side here, well, they've won 4 of their last 5. Away from home, a very different story. On the road, they've lost 6 of their last 7, but they did stop the rot last weekend with a 1-1 draw, terrific draw at Notts County. Dowson, ably assisted by Sky commentator Martin Tyler, freely admits his team of part-timers have the lowest budget in the National League, so they are punching above their weight to even be in the top half of the table. They're still without their top scorer Jake Hyde, who helped himself to 2 goals at Edgeley Park back in October. He's out with a calf injury, so Alex Wall starts in an unchanged 11 for Alan Dowson's side today. But he made big changes last weekend, half a dozen changes last weekend, dropping some of his big names to make those changes to get that draw at Notts County. They go this afternoon with a 4-3-3, Craig Ross in goal, back 4 of Jack Cook, Ben Gehring, Moussa Diarra and Josh Casey the captain, midfield 3 of Ben Dempsey, Max Kretschmar, who scored at Meadow Lane, and Kane Ferdinand, and then up front Dave Tarpey on the right, Jamal Lozat on the left and Alex Wall through the middle. Subs for the home side as goalkeeper Sam Howes, Nathan Collier, Godfrey Poku, Sean Donnellan and Josh Nurpill. That's the way the two sides line up. We are live this afternoon at the Kingfield Stadium. Full live and exclusive commentary from the Kingfield, from the National League. It is Woking against Stockport County. We are, of course, on County Player. If you'd like to subscribe there, just visit stockportcounty.com for all the details, and on your official county station. This is Imagine.
John Kieran, thank you very much. The players down in front of us making their way out onto the pitch. Woking in a red and white 50-50 shirt, black shorts, white socks. County in that green strip, the green shirt at the front, black on the back, green shorts and green socks. John, we've got a couple of minutes before kick-off. Let's have a look at that Stockport County lineup. It's unchanged for the first time in a little while.
Since August.
Sam Walker's in for Lois Maynard, which is obviously just a little injury at the moment. Other than that, would you say Jim Gannon has figured out his best 11? And if he has, is it the perfect time to figure it out?
I'm not sure Jim's got a best 11. I think Jim has got a squad. I think he's got a best 16, but I don't think he has a best 11. I think he likes to rotate. He doesn't like to say, this is my first choice 11, for obvious reasons. You don't want to disillusion players who are knocking on the door to try and get into that starting lineup. So no, I'm not sure this is. But I tell you what it is. This is Jim returning to the squad, really, that got County up last season. If you look at the numbers, and this is what Jim pointed out last week after the match, you know, he's gone with number 1, number 2, number 3. Paul Turnbull, we know, is suspended, number 4. Then he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then 3 additional signings, McAlinden, Lloyd and Hogan. So I think that's really interesting. He's gone back to the players who've won promotion.
When you look at that camaraderie, we spoke about it last week. It obviously did the job for County in really tough conditions. I mean, it was the kind of game where a fellow playoff chaser in Bromley, those conditions were something spectacular as a plane flies over just ahead of us. I think we're that close to the airports around here. it's that camaraderie, isn't it? And if County are going to go on a run, and a big run is needed, just as it was last season, this time for the playoffs, it's that you're going to look for. Of course, the added additions of players like Liam Hogan, Lewis Maynard, Dan Lloyd help out, but you need that camaraderie, really, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, and what's left, Chris? I mean, 11 games, probably need to win 5 of them to have a chance. You'd need a few draws along the way. I've got to say, I think coming here and getting a draw will not be a bad result, but what you've got to do then is win your home games, and I think that's where probably County have let themselves down a little bit. But it's difficult, to come here and get a draw, I think is a good result given that home record that we've just been talking about for Woking.
Can Jim Gannon rely on a draw? Would he accept a draw today? I mean, if the playoffs are going to happen, I hate to say it, but they've got to go for the win, haven't they?
You've got to go for the win, but I think you'd take a draw because, you look at their record. They've won 4 of the last 5 at home. Their away record is appalling, having lost 6 out of 7. But I just feel that this is the opportunity to make sure you don't lose. Go away from home, get yourself something, and then go back to Edgeley Park and try and win your home games.
Just before we kick off, Sam Walker's just been going round to all the players, just having a quick chat with them, making sure everyone's in the right frame of mind. Sam Walker does what Sam Walker does. Listen, a lot of big name players coming in. Lewis Maynard's going to take his shirt maybe when he comes back. Sam does that. This is an important game for him, isn't it?
Well, you say that. I mean, Lewis Maynard might be, he might have an eye on Jordan Keane's shirt as well, so that, that would give you more natural balance. So I think there's real competition in the middle of the park at the moment, but it's Woking on the front foot at the moment with Dave Tarpey down the right-hand side. He had to turn the ball back to Jack Cook there. Cook goes long. Ben Hinchliffe should be able to claim that one, and indeed he does, under a little bit of pressure from Alex Wall, who's deputising for top scorer Jake Hyde. Hyde with 14 goals this season, including 3 penalties, signed from Maidenhead a couple of years ago, but you remember he scored 2 of the 3 Woking goals at Edgeley Park back in the autumn, but made all those changes at the weekend, so and it seemed to work. That's a good point, away at Notts County. County, by the way, here kicking right to left as we look at it, as Chris rightly says, wearing the luminous green today. McAlinden with an early dart through the gap there, try and get on the end of that through ball from Adam Thomas. Didn't quite come off for him. County have it back with Liam Hogan, who scored on his debut at the Cheadle End last weekend. What a way to start your County career. That wasn't the best of balls, though, as he pings it out to the County right wing. Just drifts out for a throw-in to the Cards, as they're known, because of the cardinal red of their red and white halves, as Chris described earlier on this afternoon. It's a club with a good heritage, good history. They've been going since 1889, so a little bit younger than the Hatters, but not by much. The manager, Alan Dowson, 3 non-league promotions, and he's got Martin Tyler on the bench as his assistant. They've been together for around about 15 years, and it's all stemmed because Alan Dowson actually coached Martin Tyler's son Adam when he was a kid, so that's where that comes from. Here's Danny Lloyd, first touch for him this afternoon, and already head down, darting forward down the left flank. County win the throw on this near side as Dan Cowan provides some good support on this near touchline. It's a frenetic start to this game, but it remains 0-0 as Cowan hurls the ball towards Lloyd, who glances it on to Adam Thomas, who turns it back to Keane, helps it on to the wing for Minihan. This is lovely football from the Hatters into the box for Thomas, who, he seemed a little static there in the box. Adam Thomas didn't really react to the cross from that right-hand side, and in the end, County conceding a throw-in. That was a chance for Adam Thomas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he almost turned the wrong way when the ball came into his feet. One thing to keep an eye on, John, is obviously the weather conditions this last week. Certainly in this part of the world, it has been torrential. I'm surprised that the pitch looked as healthy as it did when we got here, all barring one patch on the halfway line. Now, Dan Cowan, Danny Lloyd, and Liam McAlinden have all just lost a footing in the first 30 seconds. I expect this pitch to cut up quite rotten today.
I'm relying on you for the weather forecast, Chris. I'll be dead honest.
You're back from your winter training camp,
yes, I'll be. Southern Spain, it was lovely. Here's Tarpey down the right wing for Woking. Chance to cross. It takes a deflection off Dan Cowan. It's the first corner of the day, and it's gone the way of the home side. We're sitting just behind the visiting dugout. County making their return here to the Kingfield. I say this was the scene of that very strange rant from Lord Snape the former county chairman. So a corner here for the home side. It's going to be a right-footed outswinger, this one. Pinged out towards the penalty spot. It's still loose on this edge of the 6-yard box. And the linesman has spotted an infringement. And the referee agrees. And it is a free kick to the Hatters inside their own penalty area. We've played around 4 minutes here at the Kingfield Stadium. It remains 0-0 as the ball's fired upfield now by Hogan. Again, he's over-egged it. It runs all the way through to goalkeeper Craig Ross at the other end, the experienced stopper in his second spell with the club. Played actually in the successful playoff final last May when Woking beat Welling by 1-0 to earn promotion. Here's McAlinden making a charge down the right flank, and he's won a corner. Great work from McAlinden. Musa Diarra with the last gasp challenge. County have a corner away on that right-hand side. An opportunity for County maybe to mount an attack here.
He's a big fella, isn't he, Musa Diarra? Real unit in the middle of the park.
6'4", signed from Dover in the summer. County corner then, and it's Sam Walker, the veteran midfielder, standing over it. Chips it in towards Thomas, who glances on. Here's a chance. Here's the opener. Danny Lloyd has scored on his return to Stockport County. It's taken him 5 games, but in this one it's taken him 5 minutes from close range. He taps it home, and County have the advantage here. It's Woking 0, County 1.
He's taken that really well, Danny Lloyd, on his right foot as it's come to him. He's just steered it in between defender and goalkeeper to get it in the bottom corner. What a finish. He's delighted with that, Danny Lloyd. I think for a moment the Woking fans thought he was trying to celebrate in front of them. He was just so excited. He's that kind of player, and he's loving this moment now.
And he looks to the skies, as he does for his late brother John. Just that little reminder. He's got that many tattoos to kiss and that many gestures to point. His granddad as well, of course, who we lost. But look at that. He's applauding the County fans. And the Hatters are in front. Danny Lloyd at last. And I've spoken to him numerous times since he returned to Edgeley Park. So frustrated, Chris, that he's not got that goal. He's got it now.
Well, listen, he's a Scouser. He's not from Stockport, but he feels like one of our own, doesn't he, Danny Lloyd? And the fact that he's been able to get that off his back, if you like. He's not had that first goal since returning, albeit on loan from Salford, at present, Danny Lloyd. But he'll have loved that moment just as much as, well, as if he was a Stockport lad.
Well, it was a well-worked corner routine. Sam Walker's corner, helped on by Adam Thomas, and there was Danny Lloyd, probably 6 yards out, to tap it home, picked his spot, right foot as well, but steered it into the far post as a County winner free kick for a foul on Ash Palmer by big striker Alex Wall. But you can sense already, Chris, can't you? They're not used to winning here. The mood has dropped, and Danny Lloyd gives us a big grin up here in the press box, having got that opening goal. That's fantastic. Here he is. Oh, what a touch from Lloyd, coming in off the left, trying to take on the fullback. It breaks kindly for now for Cowan. Cowan's cross is deflected into the path of Keane, who'll strike this one from distance. On target, keeper saves, it stays 1-0.
I tell you what a ball from Ben Hinchliffe. He's put that right on the toes of Danny Lloyd. It's had to dip right behind the big defender Jack Cook, who was in between him and Lloyd. He's got it on a stamp. What a ball from Ben Hinchliffe. I think Danny Lloyd has then actually made the wrong decision trying to go around the outside rather than in, but very, very impressive start from County.
It is really, really impressive, as Chris rightly says. And Danny Lloyd with the opening goal for the Hatters this afternoon. And the thing about Danny Lloyd, Chris, is scoring early in a game like that. He's now got the bit between his teeth, hasn't he?
Yeah, he'll have his eyes on a hat-trick already, John. He's that kind of player.
Minihan heads the ball away to Osborne, who holds it up on the halfway line, turns it back to Minihan, who chips it forward now for Adam Thomas to chase. McAlinden's the furthest forward, the goalkeeper panicking under pressure from McAlinden, slices the clearance, and Sam Walker heads it down for Danny Lloyd, the goal scorer. Lloyd turns it back to Cowan. First time finding Walker. Was he brought down? Referee didn't think so. Oh, Keane, that's a clever ball as he prods it forward to McAlinden. He's just offside. The shot was wide of the target anyway. But Stockport County at the moment looking lively. I've got to say about the pitch, though, it's starting to cut up. It looked immaculate when we turned up, Chris. There's been no rain, but you can see it's starting to cut up, and it's very soft on the top.
Well, they got lucky with the fixtures last week, Woking. They were away at Notts County, which meant they didn't have to even attempt to put the ground through a game last Saturday, but you can just see now it's not ready for it. But listen, John, talking of players with a bit between the teeth, look at Liam McAlinden. He's chased, I think, 3 or 4 balls down already. He's got a bit of a point to prove, I think, in that number 9 role. You know, Niall Bell will be thinking, I want to keep the shirt this season and next season. Liam McAlinden is now his competitor for that, and Liam, I think, is trying to prove a point today. He looks really sharp.
You say as well, I mean, Danny Lloyd's got the bit between his teeth now, having scored that opening goal, but also Jack Cook, the fullback now, he's starting to think, well, hang on, that's my man, that's the left winger who's got across and scored, the smallest man on the pitch, but he's tucked it home from close range, and I don't know whether he should have been marking Danny Lloyd or not, but it's in his mind now, thinking, well, the left winger's just scored a goal, so he'll be starting to panic a little bit as well. So it's great news for the Hatters, who lead here at the Kingfield by 1-0.
Well, we should say County's goal was the first goal in the National League this afternoon. The second is Fylde beating Dover, which sees County up to 6th in the live league table.
Great news, the Hatters in shooting distance of the playoffs and in the live league table. As Chris rightly says, the Hatters up to 6th now, and Woking by contrast have slipped into the bottom half of the table. That's how tight it is at this stage. Now Jack Cook's going to hurl a throw in here from the right hand side for Woking, looking for Diarra. Oh, and it's an equaliser for the home side. It's turned home quite comfortably by Wall. County just switched off completely. The long throw, and Alex Wall, with his first goal for the club, has levelled the match. Well, County's lead lasted for less than 6 minutes. It's 1 apiece.
It's unfortunate for County, but yeah, they did switch off. It just dipped nicely, if you like, in behind Hogan, and it's just a simple tap-in for Alex Wall, but that'll give Woking a bit of belief now. That'll inspire them to come forward. So it's going to be interesting to see which way the pendulum swings when the game gets back underway. County they'll want to get back on the front foot. Woking will believe that they have reason to.
Jim Gannon will be livid about that. It's a long throw, and it's been allowed to drop. Chris, you described it perfectly. Dropped inside the 6-yard box, right on the toes of Alex Wall. And I'll be dead honest, I think I could have scored that one. The big 6'3" striker, though, I mean, he didn't even have to move his body, did he? Just turned it in. I
think both sets of defenders will feel that they probably should have done a little better on their for the goals that they've conceded. And I mean, well, it's up to the attackers now to go and put it right for them.
Yeah. So 1 apiece, 2 goals in the opening 10 minutes, and I'll tell you now, County are not in the playoffs now in the live league table, as that equaliser for Woking has been greeted by the home fans here.
Saying that, the results are doing what they can for us. Solihull, Bromley and Dover all
true.
losing.
Yeah.
It's too early to tell in the game, isn't it? Lively. We shouldn't.
County throw, left side, Cowan takes, Thomas controls, on the chest, shakes off the attentions of the defender and gives it back to Cowan, who's away. Down this left-hand side, it's a great run by Dan Cowan. He was fouled, I thought, there, but Danny Lloyd's cross, well, I think he was in an offside position when he received the ball, which is a little careless. It was a good pass by Cowan. Danny Lloyd just strayed a toe offside. There's been a lot of talk in the last week or so about the offside rule and whether it may change to give the attackers the advantage. That's probably one of those situations where Danny Lloyd, on another day, might have been onside. He's frustrated, he's annoyed with himself, Lloyd, the county goal scorer, but it is 1 apiece. 10.5 minutes gone.
We should say Danny Lloyd, the new father.
Yes, indeed. Danny and his partner Ellie, his fiancée Ellie, celebrating the birth of little Hudson just a week or so ago.
I wonder how many times tonight Hudson will hear the story of how Danny Lloyd has tucked it home from close range, but he had to be in the right position. And
well, Chris, you and I, both fathers of young ones, but young boys as well. And I mean, he doesn't look like a man who's getting no sleep, does he?
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. The Cards have a free kick inside their own half. It's going to be the goalkeeper, Craig Ross, to take this one, who signed a new contract with the club last summer. The Woking squad, by the way, has been reinvigorated in recent weeks with 3 loans from the Championship, but only one of them getting the nod today. That's Ben Dempsey, on loan from Charlton, playing in midfield. It's Josh Nerthil, who's dropped down to the bench. Jay Harris, no sign of him in the squad. Goalkeeper Ross takes the free kick deep in his own half. It's intercepted though by the Hatters again, and County on the move with Osborne. Out to the left wing again for Danny Lloyd. Cook, well-timed tackle. Oh, the referee's given a goal kick this time. He says it came off Danny Lloyd last. Danny Lloyd shaking his head in frustration, but it is a goal kick.
What a ball from Elliot Osborne to find him, especially on the terrain line as it is. He's just rolled it perfectly where Danny wanted it, down that left channel on the shoulder of Danny Lloyd almost, and he's just been able to pick it up nicely. But a good challenge by Cook. Oh, if it had gone for a corner, Cook would have said it came off Lloyd. If it had gone for a goal kick, Lloyd would have said it had come off Cook. It was one of those, but it's going to be an interesting battle between those two. I'm enjoying seeing it. Cook's obviously a lot younger, a lot less experienced than Danny Lloyd, but he looks a lot taller, so he'll have that stride on him all day long.
Both these sides, of course, newly promoted to the National League. Woking via the playoffs. County, of course, champions in the National North. Interesting to see how they've both adjusted to life at the higher level. Oh, Danny Lloyd, brilliant skill. But then, unfortunately, unable to find a teammate with the pass, which has gone to Lazar on that left-hand side. Lazar keeps it moving to the Woking scorer Wall, who'll switch it now to Tarpey on the opposite flank. It's headed away not too convincingly by Cowan. Straight to Dempsey. Comes back to Tarpey on his left foot. Great block on the edge of the box by Jordan Keane. The ball is still in play though with Casey. Now Loza with a chance to run at Minihan. Crosses deep. There's nobody there though. And it's gone out for a goal kick to the Hatters. Who's an arse from the County fans. But I think with a sense of irony. As an early clearance from Hinchliffe, looking again for Lloyd, but Cook uses height to good effect to nod it clear. Helped on by Dempsey down the touchline. Cleared again by Hogan. Oh, lovely touch from Lloyd to find Osborne. Osborne now running through the gap to find McAlinden, who's got the chance to cross. Draws the challenge from Moussa Diarra. But again, the referee points for a goal kick.
Now that one I feel was a little less obvious. McAlinden deliberately left it knowing it was going for a corner off Diarra. The referee's not giving it.
Jim Gannon suggesting that Osborne should have gone for goal himself.
Maybe. It's a lovely touch from Danny Lloyd though, and he's done it so well because he's actually found him off the shin pad, and that's not by accident but genuinely by design. A really good touch.
Woking 1, Stockport County 1. You're listening to Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. County in front in the opening 5 minutes, but the Cards level just 5 minutes later. Danny Lloyd giving County the lead. Alex Wall levelling for the Cards.
What ironic cheers from the County fans as they win a throw-in. I'm not sure what spurred all this, but I'm enjoying it. I'm big fan of that.
I know a few County fans came down the night before, so they've had a good 24 hours in Woking already. As Hogan at full stretch tries to get the ball clear. Oh, he read that well. That's brilliant from Hogan, and very intelligent from Walker as well to turn the ball back to Hinchliffe, who then clears, but there's the big man Diarra to head it away. County pick it up again in midfield, but it's a foul on Elliot Osborne by the busy Max Kretschmar. Free kick to County.
Look how quickly Danny Lloyd wanted that back then. He was up getting the ball in the spot for the free kick and making a run on his man.
Sam Walker standing over it just inside the centre circle. Looking at the options, well, there's not a lot of movement ahead of him.
Danny Lloyd is really trying to unsettle this right back down in front of us.
Well, it's gone that way towards Lloyd, who is onside. His first touch this time not so convincing. That allows Cook to steal and Woking to clear. Clash of heads then. You could hear that up here. That was a really nasty one involving Sam Walker. And the referee had to stop play immediately. Walker and Kretschmar, I think the two, Dempsey may be involved in that one. Walker's the one who's taken it on the temple. A nasty clash, that one, Chris.
Yeah, you feel them, don't you? And he actually looks a little dazed, the Woking player, as he sits up.
Sam's okay, back on his feet.
Yeah, I mean, they both look like tough lads, but he's a little. I mean, they both look a little unsteady. They're going to take a breather, I think, for a moment. It's probably the right thing to do. Sam's just stretching his jaw out. That should be all right.
Yeah, the two shake hands. It was one of those, a complete accident. But Kretschmar, he's okay to play on. Sam Walker receiving a bit of treatment from Luke Smith, but he's all right as well. Kretschmar, by the way, attacking midfielder, scored on Saturday at Notts County in that 1-1 draw. What a terrific result that was, particularly when you've been struggling away from home. Danny Lloyd and the skipper Casey just agreeing what they're going to do with this drop ball. Danny Lloyd putting it out for a goal kick.
I mean, was Danny Lloyd... Did he have to do that in the letter of the law then? Because it's very good sportsmanship, but it's really trusting of the Woking defenders to all walk away from him and trust that he's going to pass it back from
I think Conor Di Maio down on the touchline with the other substitute saying I had a shot there.
Well, if he'd run through, he'd been one-on-one with it, no one near him for 20 yards.
Header away by Keane. Walker back in the action and back in the aerial battle straight away. Heads it forward. It's cleared by Diarra, the man mounting 6'4" centre half at the back. Out towards the Woking left. Wall. That's a foul, surely, on Minihan. Referee agrees. Interesting with Alex Wall. He's the centre forward, but he seems to like to peel out to that left-hand side.
Yeah.
Not done him any favours, though, as he's clattered into Minihan. Free kick County.
I think Diarra is the kind of player that can be the difference in games like this. He's organising the defence well, but aerially, he's just reading everything that's coming his way, and he doesn't lose many in the air. He'll go up again and he'll likely win it. He's one of those players that you really do like to see at centre half.
Minihan's diagonal comes out to Adam Thomas, who's inside the box now, taking on the full-back, and he's won himself a corner. Great work again by Adam Thomas. The angle was always against him, but he plays it off Josh Casey, the skipper of the Cards, and wins a corner for County. Well, they scored off the first one.
The last two County goals have come from corners. If you think back to the Bromley goal as well.
So Walker plays it in. This time he's gone beyond Adam Thomas. It's headed away by Ben Gehring. And now picked up on the in midfield by Kane Ferdinand, who plays it out to the left wing. Casey helps it on. County immediately playing it back though towards. That's a great touch by McAlinden on the edge of the opposition box. Chance for the cross from the right, looking for Lloyd again. It's a strong challenge by Gehring. It is another County corner.
Well, Gehring had to get that exactly right, didn't he? Going to ground in the penalty area. Danny Lloyd actually congratulates him on a good tackle there, because you go to ground when the ball's fizzed in like that along the floor. Danny Lloyd's just waiting for a tap in number 2. And all of a sudden, a guy twice the size of him goes to ground and takes the ball and the man.
Gehring, by the way, named in the National League South Team of the Year last season. Good player, the big centre half. Former Plymouth trainee. County corner, Walker again, left-footed in swing. Palmer trying to get there. Gehring was right behind him. The ball's still loose. Gehring gets his head to it. The goalkeeper spills it. And it's off the line. Remarkable clearance by Jack Cook.
Wow.
And again, there's a stoppage for a head injury. This time, McAlinden, the victim.
Wow.
Danny Lloyd can't believe that's not gone in.
Well, they're very efficient at the back, and that could be a story of the day, Woking here, because we were speaking about Diarra a moment ago, but look at Cook and Gehring there. They've dug them out on 2 occasions. Gehring goes to ground, wins the concedes the corner, but takes it off Lloyd's toes right in front of goal. And then Jack Cook had no right, stretching all the way across the goal line to clear that one, but he's done it exceptionally well.
He's denied Danny Lloyd a second. That was a chance for the Hatters to double their advantage, but get the full-back Jack Cook on the touchline. I mean, he had to stretch for it as well.
Wow. We said he's a big lad, and he's been winning a lot in the air, but sometimes it helps you on the ground as well.
I think Danny Lloyd's just saying to him, how did you keep that out? And Jack Cook's laughing as well. The likeable Scouser. He is a charmer. Here's Wall for Woking, trying to bundle his way through the challenges from the County back line. It comes out to Casey on the left. Casey down the line now for the runner from the back. This time Lazar making the move, but a sliding tackle to deny him the opportunity. The left-sided striker, the Jamaican international, who's actually on a season-long loan from Chelmsford City of the National League South. So quite an unusual arrangement to be loaned upwards rather than down. There's Cook, who took the long throw. He's won himself another one. County, of course, conceded from a long throw from Cook, but he's not going to take this one. It's more towards the halfway line, so he's going to jog back to his normal position of right back. He does have a real good long throw on him, though, Jack Cook.
I think it's the fear of leaving Danny Lloyd alone, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can't take that risk. He's
the counter
too quick. Yeah.
Diarra, halfway line, back to Gehring. Gehring goes long. Should be easy enough for Hogan. Heads it clear. Diarra's there again to meet it. Lofts it back out. Hogan's there again. Finds McAlinden, but it's a poor touch from McAlinden. And it's got Woking through with Tarpey chasing it down. Hogan spotted the danger. Just shepherds it back to Ben Hinchcliffe. He does read the game so well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's done exceptionally well there. And what he's done is he's instilled even more confidence in his defence, because they had to trust that he was there, basically. Hogan was on the turn. He had to either go for it or let it bounce. And he's used his ears and used his senses, really, because he knew Hinchcliffe was there. And there he was. Hogan,
the former Tranmere man. You may remember he actually played against County for Tranmere in the Cheshire Senior Cup final, which I think was Nantwich, wasn't it? We played at. County won by 2-1, but Hogan played in that game. But since then he's gone on to great success with Salford, captain for back-to-back promotions to the Football League.
As did Darren Stevenson.
Younger brother Scott, of course, at Aston Villa, centre forward there. Keane just ducked under that one, but I think he knew that Hogan was there. Hogan clears. Diarra's there first. Denies McAlinden the chance to get in behind, but it is a throw into County on the halfway line, the Hatters' right-hand side. McAlinden, you mentioned him earlier, Chris, and I'm not sure he's a natural centre forward, but he's looked lively, hasn't he, this afternoon?
Yeah, I think I might be wrong, but I think the thinking of playing him as a number 9, leading the line, if you like, is because County have got these players like Thomas and Lloyd who can break forward. It allows him to drop in and fill in for them when they do, so they're almost playing a fluid 4, just lined up as a 3-1. But
there's the inexperience. He's just offside there.
Yeah, you're right, and I think for all his running and all his his intention to kind of break the lines down, I think Diarra has kind of got his number now. We spoke about the importance of a steady centre-half. That's exactly what Diarra is.
County come into this game having won just one of their last 10 during 2020, but it's interesting, there's no despondency amongst the fans or the squad or the staff or anybody really, Chris, despite that run of 1 win in 10. And I mean, that's largely to do with the takeover, isn't it, with Mark Stock coming in?
Yeah, there's plenty of reason for optimism amongst these County fans, and takeover or not, if you'd have offered this position at the start of the season, and I know it's the cliche thing to say, but it's true. If you were offered challenging for playoffs with 10 games left, of course you would have taken it. You know, it goes without saying. So there's no reason to panic, no reason to not trust the gaffer. You know, he's overseeing a period of transition, if you like. Even though County were already on the up, all of a sudden you've got more money in the bank, you've got higher expectations to deal with, and I think the fans in particular know that if you can trust anyone with this football club, it's that man down in front of us.
Keane volleys the ball forward. Osborne bundled over. It's a very clumsy challenge by Ben Dempsey, the midfielder on loan from Charlton Athletic. Free kick to the Hatters, 20 yards or so inside the opposition half. Walker dummy to take that quickly, but then changes his mind. It's a good position, this. He can either play it short and get Lloyd and Cowan going down the left, or he can whip this in for the big men.
Look at McAlinden. He's got to be looking at McAlinden as a target there. He's on his own.
He's offside as well, isn't he, though? That's the problem. He's taken up that position. It is always a gamble. But I'm sure he'll be looking beyond him to the likes of Ash Palmer. Hogan, by the way, has stayed back. Palmer was the target, but it's headed away by Gehring. County win it back with Keane, Osborne, Hogan. Big booming ball out towards the left for Danny Lloyd, who anticipates where it's going to land, wins the second ball. Walker, not brought down. The referee allows the advantage, but Walker's back on his feet very quickly. It takes a flick off Dempsey. Cook's under pressure here from Osborne. Plays it down the touchline. It'll be a County throw. Still one apiece here on Imagine, in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. County throw in, Cowan to take.
They're shading territory now, aren't they, County, really?
Yeah.
They've had a number of chances. You would imagine that they've had the higher possession stats and everything else that over Woking. But Woking have got that goal, and that just makes them a little bit trickier to break down. They've got reason to believe in themselves going forward, and we've already seen the strengths at the back. I mean, County took that first opportunity when it came along. More will come along, but you've got to take them because these aren't going to concede too many of those chinks in the armour.
Hinchcliffe goes to the right this time as Thomas heads it back to Keane. Keane back to Palmer. Palmer all the way back to Hinchcliffe. County start again with the goalkeeper. One apiece here at the Kingfield. Again, he's gone out towards the right, Ben Hinchcliffe. He's put a bit of backspin on it to try and get Adam Thomas in behind, to try and get the defence turned. Wasn't quite enough on that one, but Jim Gannon not critical this time. I think he appreciates exactly what the goalkeeper was trying to achieve. Just trying to ping that out to the right wing. Ben Hinchcliffe looking over to the dugout, but it was a decent attempt that from County's number one, who of course was man of the match last weekend. Normally, I don't know about you, Chris, I don't like it when your goalkeeper's man of the match, particularly at home, but I think last weekend it was there was no question, was there? It was Ben Hinchcliffe.
Well, I think if you were to read the stats from last weekend, if you weren't at the game, you couldn't listen to it, everything else, you think, oh, well, maybe County have been peppered, maybe that's why the keeper's been given man of the match.
There's a real angry reaction here to a challenge on one of the County players, and they're suggesting it's an elbow.
On Jordan Keane,
that's the offence they're claiming. It's has left Keane clutching his face here, and immediately surrounded by green shirts. And County players are not like that. They don't react to nothing. And also down on the touchline, Jim Gannon having a word with Alan Dowson, the home manager.
Now
he's very, very angry about that challenge.
I don't think he's going to send him off because he's calling him over for a talk.
The fourth officials had to intervene there to prevent the managers clashing anymore. But a really angry reaction for the challenge from Alex Wall.
He's not even going to book him, I don't think.
He's not, you know. Do you know why? I don't think he's seen it. He's not even seen it. I tell you what, is he going to book one of the County players for their reaction? That'll be ridiculous if that's the case. He's called over Ash Palmer, the captain.
No, he'll be talking to Ash to say, calm your team down. If Ash has got the captain's armband.
Well, I hope Ash is just saying to him, look, if we see one of our players elbowed in the face, we're not going to stay quiet. Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Ash Palmer should not be spoken to by the referee then. That's embarrassing. But Louise Sanders down on the touchline here, the fourth official, had to keep the managers apart then briefly because Jim Gannon reacting very angrily to that challenge. County, but by the way, have got the free kick. It's gone out for a goal kick.
County have got to make sure they don't get over frustrated here. They've looked good for the majority of the game. They've controlled, that kind of Wokin's half, if you like. They've moved the ball around well. They've rarely been tested at the back. They've done well, but now the fact that they're having so little in terms of attempts on goal, and then corners and not going their way, being given as goal kicks, and now the elbow in the face is just not being acknowledged. They've just got to be careful they don't get too wound up, if you like. There's a long way to go in this one yet.
Well, Alan Dale, the referee, I think claiming that he just didn't see an elbow. I think he was in Pizza Express in Woking at the time the offence happened, so he couldn't possibly have seen the elbow from Alex Wall connect with Jordan Keane's nose.
Unbelievable.
The ball into touch, throw in to Woking, deep in their own half in that left-back area. It's going to be Josh Casey, the reigning player of the year and indeed their promotion captain, who'll take this throw in. County fans reacting angrily at the moment. They feel they're not getting the rub of the green on the decisions on that far side.
I'm going to look forward to chatting to a few of those fans later on because, as I don't know what's going on with the two sets of fans today. Obviously something's happened, but now they are getting a little incensed. And I mean, County fans are animated. All football fans are animated, but you get the impression now that they do feel a little sense of injustice as well.
Well, just over half an hour gone. Woking 1, County 1. Flurry of activity in the opening 10 minutes, leading to a goal apiece. County taking the lead through Danny Lloyd. The home side level through Alex Wall's first goal for his new club, having signed for the Cards from Hemel Hempstead.
What a touch by McAlinden.
Yeah, great touch. And he's found Osborne. He'll strike from distance on his weaker left side. It was always drifting wide, but he was right to take that snapshot on. Had very little backlift on the shot because the ball was right under his feet, but he managed to dig out that shot, but it's off target from County's Elliot Osborne. So it remains 1-1.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind the link-up play as well between Liam McAlinden and Elliot Osborne. I mean, it's not your traditional 9 and 10 role. If you think of partnerships in years gone by for County and other clubs, the 9 and 10 position are usually alongside each other. That's changed in recent years, but now they are more fluid, one in front of the other. So Liam touching it on for Elliot to go past him is absolutely fine, and it's what should be happening. OK, he scuffed his shot, but it's the right idea.
One thing I've noticed, Chris, Craig Ross, the goalkeeper, his goal kicks are barely reaching the halfway line. He's not got the best kick, has he?
He's not got the best kick, and he keeps stretching out his hip flexor as well.
So maybe carrying something.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the players you would have thought will pick up on that straight away, and if there is something there, you've got to start testing him as often as you can, almost shoot on sight mentality.
McAlinden, little touch, trying to get it away from Gehring. Gehring's volleyed that one into the car park, so new ball, please. It remains 1 apiece here at the Kingfield Stadium. County throw, left-hand side. County kicking from right to left as we look at it. We're sitting just behind Jim Gannon in the visiting dugout. Cowan with the throw. Finds Walker. It's a terrible return ball from Sam Walker, who's given it to him under his chin. County very fortunate to get another throw in. Cowan to take. We know how hard County work on throw-ins in training. That wasn't the best from Cowan either. As Woking steal and fire it back into the Hatters' half. Ben Hinchliffe comes out to clear, but it's gone out for another throw-in on the far side. Just opportunity maybe to mention a County supporter who's sadly passed away, Joan Cooper. I'm sure many fans in the main stand will have known Joan, former staff member at Hillcrest School in Davenport. Joan, 40 years a season ticket holder in the Danny Bagara stand, but sadly passed away recently, and her funeral takes place at St Albans Church in Offerton at 11 a.m. on Monday. Now, she didn't really have much in the way of family, so if anyone can get down, I'm sure it'd be much appreciated. But Joan Cooper, sadly missed, and her funeral on Monday at St Albans Church in Offerton at 11 a.m. So if you can get down there, I'm sure it'd be much appreciated. I know the former staff from Hillcrest, many of them will be there on Monday. Goal kick to the home side again. It's a poor goal kick, Chris. This one's gone out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just on the halfway line. I mean, and again, it's the first thing he did. But I mean, sometimes when athletes, in particular footballers, when they know that something's not really going their way, they try and make a reason for it. And sometimes I think he's stretching his hip flex almost theatrically just to kind of overemphasise the point. Yeah. Well, I'm not quite right. Well, if he's not quite right to the point it's affecting him that much, he shouldn't really be on the pitch. Maybe he's not really hurt. I don't know.
County, you get the sense, are on top. The stats would back that up as well. 4 attempts from County this afternoon, just the 1 from Woking, but it went in.
Yeah, they executed the game plan right. Woking, I mean, we spoke about the run of form that they've been on. County should feel like now they can begin to look up again. Jim Gannon mentioned it in the podcast this week that we've been creeping towards that 3 points. It's a cheap free kick for my Palmer to give away, but Jim's been speaking about how we've been creeping towards those 3 points. They almost came against Dagenham, and they would have come against Dover, he believes, if it wasn't for the sending off. Whereas Woking now will be happy to, you get the imagine, consolidate, stem County, hit them on the break. They know they're not going to get many chances, but be clinical when they do. So far, I mean, their plan's working.
Well, they've got a free kick now over on that left wing. Needlessly conceded by Ash Palmer, just bundling his man to the ground. So Kretschmar standing over it, takes it right-footed, looking for Alex Wall. It was a little too high for him. Breaks loose on the edge of the box. Lazar with the initial attempt. What a block by Ben Hinchliffe, and then cleared off the line by Hogan. But the flag that wouldn't have counted, but Jack Cook, the right-back, sliding in there. Thought he had an opportunity. What a brave piece of goalkeeping again by Ben Hinchliffe to smother that first attempt, because that would have counted.
Well, I mean, Ben Hinchliffe, these last couple of games, I mean, you talk about all the full-time, part-time, can it work, can it not work, with Mark Stock coming in, do you look at strengthening defence, attack, midfield, goalkeeper, whatever. Ben Hinchliffe has just proven, both today and last week against Bromley, that he's so key to this team. You know, it almost doesn't matter how often you can train. If you can pull out performances like that, pull out pieces of goalkeeping like that, you are more than worthy of a place in the team.
Very, very brave. Referees brought play back here for a foul, but Alex Wall had just turned Walker on the halfway line and was away. I can't believe he's pulled that back.
I think
the referee knows he's got that wrong. He's actually saying sorry.
It's the referee more than anyone who needs half time to come, I think.
Yeah,
he's
struggling.
He needs to go and get a cup of tea and just have a moment to catch his breath, because he's just starting to become a little bit overwhelmed now.
Well, it is a free kick, halfway line to the Cards, but they could have had a lot better. The free kick to be taken by Kretschmar then, the 26-year-old midfielder. Scored on Saturday, fires it into the box. Hogan, towering header to get it away. It goes out for a throw on the far side. I don't think Jack Cook will come forward for this one. Throw in. Oh, he is going to, actually. I suppose, given what we got 4 minutes to go. Well, Alan Dowson saying, what are you doing? No. So he's going to leave it for Josh Casey, the skipper, on that left-hand side.
It must be such a terrifying thought for the manager sitting on this dugout, just seeing Danny Lloyd left on his own.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one clearance or one header and Lloyd's away through one-on-one. I mean, you're not catching him in that circumstance.
Here's Lozar off the left-hand side. He's found Cook. Cook in an advanced position. Lloyd's gone with him. Cook will work it into the gap now, but Minihan with the tackle. Sends it away towards Lazar on this right-hand side now. Lozar turns it back to Cook. Cook plays it forward. Chance here maybe inside the box for Lazar. His shot is deflected onto the top of the crossbar. What a block from Liam Hogan. It is a corner to Woking. It could have been a lot worse. Brilliant block by Liam Hogan to keep out Lozar.
Well, that's why he's been brought in, isn't it? It's that experience. It's that kind of defending that keeps a cool head when you're being bared down upon. You've got to make everything right. You've got to get your footing right. You've got to get your awareness, your positioning. And he's done everything right there, Liam Hogan. Terrific block.
It is a corner, though, for Woking, who are finishing the half strongly. Kretschmar again, the dead ball specialist, going across to take this one. Former Wycombe man. Made 85 appearances for Wycombe before moving on. Played for Hampton and Richmond under Alan Dowson. Left them in the summer of 2018. He's going to take this corner. Right-footed in-swinger. It's a good header away by Palmer. But it'll be another corner to the home side. Their third of the day. Another chance for Kretschmar to whip the ball in. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go to the break. Still one apiece, but Woking finishing this first half strongly. Right-footed in-swinger, deep towards the far post. Gehring heads it wide. Was he climbing? Referee says no. It would have counted.
Look at Danny. He's screaming to Ben. He wants it quick. He's not going to get it. That's frustrating from Danny Lloyd's perspective. He's saying to him, why?
Lloyd's saying, I made the run.
He said then, you heard him say, I'm fuming. He was ready for that then, Danny Lloyd.
It began with F and U. It's going to be Ben Hinchliffe. Whether he's trying to use up time, Hinchliffe, to go in one each at the break, I don't know. It's gone out to the other side anyway now, towards Adam Thomas. Thomas lets it go over his head. It'll go out for a throw-in to the Cards in that left-back area. Time ticking away at the end of this first half. Less than 2 minutes remaining, plus any stoppage time. There'll be a little bit of that, given the clash of heads earlier on in the game. It's one apiece here on Imagine, in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. As from the Woking throw, they get the ball forward, but as Cowan to turn it back to Hinchliffe on the half volley, fires it out to the left wing for the first time today. Danny Lloyd wasn't there. Oh, the referee just checking on Sam Minihan, who took a blow to the head then. Josh Casey also checking on the well-being of the county fullback. And he seems to be suggesting it was a flailing arm. But he's okay. It's going to be a throw-in which Jack Cook will take on this near touchline. Cook, who's normally a centre-half, actually, playing at right-back today, using his height to try and keep County out.
Yeah, it's a very clear tactic, isn't it, from a County perspective. Ben Hinchliffe, unless Danny Lloyd's away, he very rarely comes down this left side. It's all about the height on the right-hand side, albeit it's not working out at the moment because they've thought of that with Moussa Diarra going over. They're not really what you would call a big physical side, Woking, but they do have big physical elements in there. And so far, these three in front of us in particular, Diarra and Cook, Gehring, they're just big, strong players, and County find it tough to break them down.
Tarpey helps the ball on towards Wall, who wins a throw-in down the Woking right wing. In the final minute of the first half, still one apiece. Both goals in the opening 10. Cook again with another chance from the long throw, but he throws it down the line towards Wall, turns it in towards the penalty area, cleared this time by Lloyd, helped on by Keane. It's a big up and under. Oh, it's a terrible header from Diarra, goodness me. He's headed it out towards the right back area and then sliced it out for a corner. Well, the referee's saying it had already gone for a throw-in. I don't think it had. I think he sliced that over his own crossbar. Well, he might be good in the air, Chris, but on the deck. Yeah,
well, he wasn't good in the air then. That was it's what they were calling tennis an unforced error. He was completely on his own, and he's almost 50p headed it the
nothing
wrong way.
Ball, wasn't it? Yeah.
But County now, I mean, if they nick a goal on the cusp of half-time, the dynamic of the game completely different for the second half.
County have a throw deep in the Woking half, down the Hatters' left wing. Be taken by Dan Cowan. This will probably be County's last chance of this first half to create an opening. Cowan to take. Lloyd, the first to show. It's gone to Walker, who gives it back to Cowan, who stabs it into the box towards McAlinden. McAlinden with his back to goal. He's got 3 for company, turns it back out to the wing for Lloyd, who prods it into the 6-yard box, but there's Gehring to clear. Sam Walker trying to recycle the ball, not enough on it though. And now Woking could break down the right with Tarpey. What a ball from Wall to find him. Tarpey taking on Hogan. Hogan's done brilliantly. Hogan's done so well to force him wide. Gets the tackle in, puts it out for a throw-in. And Chris, again, just to underline your earlier point, that's why he's here.
Yeah, I mean, he's read that threat really well.
Cook, though, with a long throw.
Yeah, it's going to be a worry, this one, I think.
He can hurl this in.
They didn't need to be here, County, from having their own throw 30 seconds ago.
It's a great ball by Wall, though, out to the wing. Here's Cook's throw. Deep into the box, and Hogan's there to meet it. Comes back to Cook, who heads it into the danger area again. Palmer this time glances it away. Osborne, McAlinden, what a ball from McAlinden out to the left wing for Danny Lloyd, and it's now County on the counter-attack. Josh Casey gets across on the cover, puts it out for a throw-in.
Now we're here again. It's the exact same position that County had a throw-in a moment ago, and I can imagine this time they're going to be much more careful with it.
Whistle goes for half-time. It's all academic. County taking an early lead on 5 minutes. Sam Walker's corner, helped on by Adam Thomas, and there was Danny Lloyd to turn it in from close range. But County had the lead for less than 5 minutes. A long throw by Jack Cook landed at the feet of Alex Wall, who tapped it in for his first goal for his new club. County went close again midway through the first half. A goal line clearance from Cook, denying Lloyd a second goal. But Woking finished the half strongly. On 39 minutes, it took a brave save from Ben Hinchliffe to keep out the lively Jack Cook. And then 4 minutes from that half-time whistle, it was a deflected effort from Jamal Loza, which flicked onto the top of the County crossbar after a great challenge from Leon Hogan. 1-1 at the break.
Now, just before we cut there, John, Ben Jackson's being taken out for a warm-up. Adam Thomas, who struggled in training on Thursday, who didn't really take full part in training, I don't think, has just turned to Luke Smith with shaking his head, holding his leg. I don't think we're going to see Adam Thomas in the second half. Both Niall Bell and Ben Jackson have gone out. Now, it depends which tactic Jim's going to go with here, because Liam McAleenan very fluid. You could drop him back, move Niall Bell on up front, or you can put Ben Jackson on a bit of pace in the wings. It's going to be interesting to see which one gets the nod, or whether Adam Thomas starts the second half. For what it's worth, I don't think he will. But as you say, we'll find out in a moment. It's Stockport County Live here in Woking, and at half-time, at the 45-minute break, it's Woking 1, Stockport County 1.
It all comes down to this.
Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio with mydigitalaccounts.com, the smart accountant for the digital age, specialising in online accounts and tax returns. Call us today on 0161 925 6162 for a friendly chat about your accounting needs, or visit at mydigitalaccounts.com. Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio with mydigitalaccounts.com, the smart accountant for the digital age, specialising in online accounts and tax returns. Call us today on 0161 925 6162 for a friendly chat about your accounting needs, or visit at mydigitalaccounts.com.
Well, welcome back to Woking here, Stockport County Live. It's a goal apiece at half-time. The Woking players just making their way back out onto the pitch. Now we're still waiting the arrival of Stockport County players, still waiting to see if we will see any substitutions at half-time, although I hazard a guess at least one maybe for Adam Thomas, who looks to be struggling. Just before we do go back to the fixtures, let's have a look around the grounds at what scores are going on. Boreham Wood Yeovil is goalless at the break. Bromley 0, Wrexham 1. A good score so far for County. Chesterfield Ebbsfleet is goalless down the bottom end of the table. Chorley 0, Barnet 1. Dagenham Redbridge 2, Solihull Moors 0. Another good result for County, if you can say like that. Fylde have gone from winning 1-0 away at Dover to 2-1 down at the break. Harrogate 2, Eastleigh 0 is another half-time. Hartlepool Notts County is currently goalless. Maidenhead 0, Aldershot 2. Torquay Halifax is goalless. Obviously here, as the Stockport County players make their way back out onto the pitch, it is a goal apiece. What that means for the live league table, County briefly had a stint inside the playoff places. They're not going to stay in there. Certainly as it stands, they're back down to 10th. I can tell you Ben Jackson is going to come on. He's currently on the sidelines ready to go. I've not seen Adam Thomas come back out. I have seen pretty much everybody else. So it looks like, John, there's going to be a change. Ben Jackson coming on. It looks like Adam Thomas coming off. Leo McAlin is just having a chat with the gaffer, so maybe a change in shape as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Just looking around, it's going to be a double change, you know. Niall Bell is also coming on for the Hatters, so a double substitution for Stockport County
at the
start of the second half. And as you say, no reappearance for Adam Thomas and no reappearance for Dan Cowan, so Jackson and Bell, the two to come on.
Well, I was saying before half time, or sorry, after the whistle went, but before we went to the ads, we were saying, would it be Bell or Jackson? Because there is a case to be made for a bit more power up front and a bit more strength through the middle, which Bell would offer you, but there's also a case for a bit of pace to get him behind, which of course Ben Jackson would offer you. Now, he's gone for both. Ben Jackson's going to be playing at left back. If I'm honest, John, don't feel full of confidence seeing Ben Jackson at left back. I like him going forward. He's got good pace, good cross on him. Occasionally he can chip in with a goal, but it's a left back. I'm just going to be honest about it. It doesn't fill me with confidence. It's an interesting one because neither does Dan Cowan, if I'm honest. Again, a very good player, very fit and athletic, but he's not a left back.
The other one is McAlinden now is going to have to move to that right-hand side, isn't he? He's going to play as a right-sided attacker. Niall Bell through the middle. I guess it gives you a bit of balance, doesn't it? But as you say, if he's not 100% fit anyway, it's a natural change. And Niall Bell, 45 minutes away from home. You've travelled all this way. You might as well have a good go.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see what he offers. And straight away, John, he's won an aerial battle up against Ben Guerin, albeit he wasn't able to retain the ball, but that's something that you might see change now this half. You've got a bit more aerial presence with Belly down the middle.
Yeah. Also, I know I appreciate everything you said about Jackson there, but he does give you more balance.
Oh, yeah.
On that left side. Anyway, to throw into the Cards, they're kicking from right to left in this second half. Double change then for County. Start of the second half, what a throw from Cook. Glancing header, the referee spotted a push though. Hogan went down under the challenge from the number 8 Kane Ferdinand, longest serving player with Woking. It is a free kick to the Hatters inside their own penalty area. So let's just run through the County 11 now. It's Ben Hinchliffe in goal, a back four of Minihan, Palmer, Hogan and Jackson. Two holding midfielders in Keane and Walker. McAlinden wide right, Lloyd wide left and Osborne in the hole behind Niall Bell.
Interesting with the double substitution, John. I mean, is this Jim Gannon, do you think, saying that plan A wasn't working? Because Adam Thomas coming off injured.
Just Tarpey with a chance here to shoot from distance on target, but a comfortable save.
Is Adam Thomas coming off injured? Okay, you can't legislate for that. He's carrying a bit of a strain or a knock or whatever. So he's coming off. That's fine. We understand that one. But the Dan Cowan, Ben Jackson one, he's not changed the shape. Is he just not happy with Dan Cowan's performance?
It's a really hard one to tell. You can only assume that he's looking at the that attacking option. Does Cowan give you enough going forward, whipping in balls from that left-hand side? The answer's probably no, because why would he? He's a right-footed player, so he's not going to do that. Here's Elliot Osborne for County, though, as the Hatters push forward, left-hand side. There's a man down here for the home side, Dempsey, as Lloyd was offside anyway. Dempsey there has gone down clutching his nose. I think he's okay. I've got to say, I didn't even see what happened to him.
I mean, just coming back to this Dan Cowan, I'm interested in this, John, because you're right to say that about Dan Cowan. He's not able to run down the touchline and whip a ball in, but we've not just learned that in the first half of today. We knew that going into the game. So Ben Jackson coming in at left back, it is an interesting one. Whether Jim Gannon feels doubling up on Jack Cook at right back is the way forward, because he's seen Jack is intelligent, he's tall, but he's not the fastest. If you can double up Danny Lloyd and Ben Jackson on a right back that isn't the fastest, is that the way to get in behind the defence? I think that might maybe be the answer to that.
Yeah, I think you're right about Thomas. I'm sure it's not a reflection on his first half performance, because he was typical Adam Thomas, wasn't he? Again, no problem at all. So I'm sure had he been fit, he would have stayed out there. County pushing forward, left wing. Osborne this time chase. That was great defending from Gehring to get that one away. And he finds Dempsey in midfield. Back to Cook on his left foot. Poor ball from Cook. Goes out for a throw-in to the Hatters in the County left-back area, now occupied by Ben Jackson. Good opportunity, though, for Jackson, the youngster, 19, on season-long loan from Huddersfield's under-19s. His 24th appearance for the Hatters, having been on loan with Darlington last season. He loves the club. He loves playing at County. Oof. Great challenge from Diarra. And then a good ball out to the left wing as well. Minihan's got to be on his toes here against Lausanne, but he's done exactly that. Good work from Sam Minihan. Gets the ball away. Osborne dispossessed again by Diarra. It was an industrial clearance which only finds Hogan. Hogan now to Jackson. Jackson. And this is, I think, why he's on the pitch, motoring down that left flank, finding Niall Bell. Bell back to Walker. Walker to Jackson again, who prods it forward into the inside left channel. He saw Bell had started a run, but then he decided to stop. And Jim Gannon, I think, a little frustrated by that, as it runs out for a goal kick to Woking. And it remains with 49.5 minutes gone. Woking 1, County 1.
Yeah, I've got to say, John, I'm really, really impressed with Moussa Diarra at the back. Apart from that freak header that he caused a little bit of a problem in his own back line within the first half, towards the end of it there, he's looked so good, just so strong and solid, and assured, I think is the right word. He's cutting everything out there. Niall Bell is going to have to bring something different. He's going to have to make Moussa Diarra, I think, because at the moment he just looks untroubled, the big number 6 for Woking.
It's Woking 1, County 1 here on Imagine, in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. As the Hatters with some defending to do. They've done that successfully, though, and got themselves a throw-in on the County left wing, just inside Hatters territory. Jackson takes, Bell controls, lays it off now, looking for support from midfield. Gets it initially from Walker, but Hogan has to take over. Jackson then, that's good improvisation from Jackson as he volleys the ball forward. Very awkward for the defender Gehring, but he does well to turn it back to his goalkeeper Ross. And Ross now with a chance to volley it forward out of his own hands towards the Woking right. County get it clear again through Keane. Volleyed straight back by Diarra. Jackson can let that one run under no pressure. It goes out for a goal kick to the Hatters. Scrappy start to the second half, still one apiece.
Yeah, I'm just a little disappointed there. Diarra's just commanded Niall Bell out the way to clear his lines there, which is what you want from a centre-half, and I get that, but for me, Niall Bell could be a little bit more aggressive there, a little bit more ruthless. We know he's got it in his locker. We've seen him do it on more than one occasion. But I just want to see him there. Especially in the first couple of minutes, while Diarra's just getting used to being up against a new opposition in that number 9 position. Give him something to really think about. Get into him a little bit. Let him know you're there.
Sam Walker out to the left wing for Danny Lloyd. Lloyd now looking to take on Jack Cook, but he gets his feet in a tangle and it goes out for a Woking throw. Woking, who did spend 6 seasons in the National League. They were relegated in the summer of 2018 to the National South, but bounced straight back with that terrific victory over Welling in the playoff final. Same season, by the way, they also reached the 3rd round of the FA Cup and lost here 2-0 at home to Watford. So it was a good season for them, their promotion campaign. But Alan Dowson quite happy to admit they've probably got the lowest budget at this level, £300,000 we understand. The average at this level is around about 600,000. Counties, of course, now is significantly more. Here's Osborne down the right wing. That's a great cross towards Niall Bell, who stabs it goalwards with his left foot, but it's an easy take for the goalkeeper. Probably going wide anyway. It stays 1-1.
It was the most exceptional 1-2 from Liam McAlinden and Sam Minahan there, completely by mistake. Now, Ash Palmer's just been penalised here, and I think the ref's giving it as a handball rather than a foul.
He has indeed. Quite right, Chris. He indicated there with his arm to say it was a handball decision. By the way, the stats on the game today: both sides 3 attempts on target, both sides 2 attempts off target, both sides 3 corners. So it is a very, very tight affair here at the Kingfield Stadium in Surrey. 6,000 capacity arena. 3 of them standing over the free kick at the moment. Wall, Tarpey. Wall has walked away.
Every man back for County. That's disappointing.
Tarpey's walking away. It's going to be Kretschmar, who scored at Notts County last weekend, to take this free kick. Takes a lot of the set pieces. Jim Gannon's bawling at his defenders here on who to pick up as Kretschmar strikes right-footed. What a header from Elliot Osborne in the wall. Just plants his forehead on it to get that clear. Woking trying to recycle the ball. Kretschmar again, but this time Palmer gets it away to Niall Bell. Now Bell with a chance to turn and run at the Woking defence. He's got options right and left. He's gone through the middle to pick out McAlinden. What a tackle from Gehring on the edge of the box, though. Superb challenge from Gehring to get that away. Wonderful tackle. McAlinden's hurt, he's down, but it was a fair challenge. County playing on. McAlinden still down, but play going on with Jackson surging forward from the left wing, finding Danny Lloyd on that left side. His cross cut out by Gehring again. And Woking get the ball clear. McAlinden limps away from the tackle. He's hurt. I think he's going to be okay to carry on, but it's Woking pushing forward. Ash Palmer tidying up at the back. What a tackle, though, from Gehring.
Yeah, it was a great ball to McAlinden in the first place. But this is what we were saying before. I mean, Woking looks so assured at the back. Going forward, I don't think they have an awful lot about them, but do you know what? Just looking at Liam McAlinden in front of us, he nods to the bench, says he's okay, but I think it's full body. It's one of those full body ones. His hip's a bit sore, he's a bit winded, he's a little bit sore, but he will run it off. But Ben Gehring, Moussa Diarra and Jack Cook at the back, those 3 have been standout today.
Well, that tackle alone shows you why he was named in the National League South Team of the Year at the end of last season. And McAlinden with a chance just to get some air into his lungs as he bends forward, stretches out a little bit. As you say, I think he landed fully on his left hip. He was spiralling through the air, but it was I mean, if he gets that wrong, Chris, that's a penalty, isn't it?
It's not the first time today he's done that, Ben Gehring, either. Which shows, it's similar to Hogan at the back, who himself has had a couple of those challenges to make, where you've got to get it absolutely right. You've got to have the fitness and the stamina to get there in the first place. Then you've got to have the peace of mind, if you like, to get it completely right, the tackle, and he's done that.
Gehring, by the way, has not been a regular in recent weeks. Manny Parry has been the preferred option as a right-sided centre-half, the giant centre-back signed from Boreham Wood in the summer. But he's been excluded from the squad the last couple of games, including that draw at Notts County last week and today's fixture against the Hatters. So Ben Gehring knows this is his opportunity, the former Billericay man. It is 1 apiece here as the clock ticks on to 56.5 minutes. Oh, it's a great turn on the edge of the county box by Kretschmann. He's taking on Keane. Keane trying to shepherd him out, and he's done it superbly. High five from Ash Palmer in recognition of the efforts there of Jordan Keane. That was superb work from Keane, who's playing as a holding midfielder today alongside Sam Walker. Walker, by the way, making his 99th appearance for the Hatters this afternoon.
Yeah, brilliant bit of play that by Jordan Keane. And although we've only seen the one appearance from Lois Maynard, you get the impression that he would probably excel in a game like this. So Jordan Keane and Sam Walker are really upping their efforts to kind of fill the void left by him, and he's done it exceptionally well there, Keano.
Clearance from Hinchliffe, a little too high that time for Lloyd, but Lloyd gives the thumbs up nonetheless for the attempt from the county number 1, Ben Hinchliffe. Down below is Conor DeMeo and Festus Arthur, both warming up in the event of needing to come on. Jim Gannon, I think, fairly relaxed at the moment about the way his team are playing. That's a clumsy tackle, though, by Keane on Kretschmar. He's complaining, Jordan Keane, but I don't think he's got any grounds to appeal to the referee on that one. It is a free kick to Woking. And this is the opportunity. They throw Gehring forward. Your man as well, Diarra, up from the back. They've got that height.
Yeah, I'm almost anticipating at some point County kind of reshuffle and go to a back three and get Ben Jackson a bit further up the pitch, because these free kicks, again, there's no one back. There's no one forward for County. And if they do clear the lines, it's just going to be immediately recycled.
So Kretschmar standing over it on the right wing. Long diagonal. Gehring's made the move now. It's not going to reach him, though. I thought it came off an arm, but the referee's allowed play to go on. County trying to scramble it away. In the end, it's hooked clear by Jackson across the halfway line. Casey will collect for Woking and fire it back where it came from. Took a deflection, and it's gone out off McAlinden for a throw-in to the home side. The Cards holding the Hatters. It's 1 apiece here at the moment at the Kingfield Stadium. You're listening to Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. Palmer has stepped out of defence and he's not won the ball. Luckily Keane was right behind him. That was a gamble from Ash Palmer. He came a long way from home then. Keane chests it down now, lofts it forward for Bell to chase. Bell caught rock back on his heels as he takes on Diarra. The goalkeeper decides to sprint out of his area and take charge, puts it out for a throw-in.
It was naughty from Diarra, but it showed his experience, and Belly just tried to run round the outside him. Diarra took his eyes off the ball, clocked where Belly was, and just completely shouldered him out of the way. It's not a foul in the eyes of the law, but Mal Bell's got, if anything, it's the centre half showing the forward that he's here, not the other way around.
Woking well supported here, by the way. Should point that out. They did take 300 odd to Nottingham last weekend, so decent turnouts at this level. County have got themselves a corner. Good work by Minihan down the right hand side to earn that set piece for the Hatters. Sam Walker will take this one. County's 4th corner of the day, all of them, by the way, from this side, the County right. Sam Walker with a chance to whip this in again. It led to the opening goal, of course, earlier on today. Jim Gannon just trying to orchestrate things from the touchline, but I'm not sure his players can hear him. He wanted McAlinden, I think, to get in front of Casey, but didn't quite come off for him. It will be a throw into the Hatters. Casey able to defend that one on the near post.
Jim Gannon knows, he believes that County can win this game, but he's urging his players just to play a bit more smarter in the final third.
An hour gone here. It's 1 apiece on Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. Hogan stabs the ball forward. It's a comfortable clearance though, and Hogan has to win an aerial battle then against Wall to try and keep County on the ball. The Hatters have done well as Lloyd picks out Osborne. Osborne darting forward. He's got McAlinden to his right. McAlinden wants to work it onto his left foot if he can. McAlinden, he's got 2 for company. He's gone the long way round onto his right foot, and he's run out of pitch. That's the weakness, I guess, of having a left-sided player on the right wing. He never looked comfortable, and he seems to be still struggling from that earlier knock. Yeah, I wonder if he'll see the game out, Liam McAlinden. Really good play that, though, by Elliot Osborne. Yeah. The temptation would have been there just to carry on the aimless heading, if you like, that seems to be going on from both sets of players. Instead, he pulled the ball down, knowing that he was going to be expecting a challenge very quickly. He anticipated it. Then he drew Diarra out of defence, almost teasing him, showing him a little bit more of the ball than he would have liked, and just then
put the ball on beyond him to McAlinden. He's doing well out there, Osborne.
Great touch from Bell to find that man Osborne again. Out to the left wing now for Danny Lloyd. Lloyd, there's only 2 in the box to pick out, and he's massively over-egged the cross, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to the home side. County, by the way, have got a wretched record against Woking. Played 4, lost 4 is the record as it stands, so anything County can get today would be an improvement. That defeat back in November when Frank Mulhern scored a late consolation goal, Jake Hyde with 2 and Dave Tarpey with the other one. That was Alan Dowson's first win in 14 games. County have only played here once before. That was that 1-0 defeat in December of 2012 when County were beaten by a goal to 0, and of course that prompted the angry response from former chairman Lord Snape, who did not like the way that day turned out. It's been a strange season for Woking. They won 7 out of 8 in August to go top of the league, but then failed to win at all in September and October. But Alan Dowson knows his squad well. A lot of the players he has acquired followed him from Hampton and Richmond after back-to-back playoff campaigns. So he's kept faith with these lads. He says he knows they've got the lowest budget in the league, but he says they can be competitive at this level, and that's certainly proving to be the case. 1 apiece though here this afternoon. The game just going through a bit of a lull at the moment, Chris.
Yeah, we're beginning to see a bit of a frustrating pattern here, that County can shade territory, they can edge the ball forward and get into first of all the final quarter, then the final third or whatnot, but they're just not making it count when they get there. You know, how many times have we said we've seen them do all this possession, right, but they're not really test the keeper?
Well, here's Elliot Osborne hoping to do that from the right wing now as he's trying to cut the ball back. It ricochets off the combined efforts of Gehring and Casey. It's gone behind for another County corner number 5, and again from the right wing.
Yeah, County have got to make one of these corners count now. They've won a few, and they got the first one right. If they can get another one, John, I would feel confident that they can go on and see the game out. But at the moment, they're just not. I'm not seeing enough from the players like Niall Bell or Liam McAlinden, who admittedly is carrying a bit of a knock now. Even Danny Lloyd, we're not seeing him test the keeper enough.
County have had just 3 attempts on target, but then in fairness, so have Woking this afternoon. It's been a shot-shy affair. As Walker takes the corner, again that near-post routine that led to the opening goal. It's flicked on, but I think Woking are wise to it now, and they've defended it well. It goes out to the left wing, but Danny Lloyd keeps it alive for County. He's taking on the defender. He's got his cross in. It's deflected. It's another County corner. First time County have had a chance to take a corner from the left wing, and it's going to be Elliot Osborne to play this in, right-footed for the Hatters. And Sam Walker just saying to Danny Lloyd, stay out there, stay on that left-hand side. Draw a defender out. Even if we don't take a short corner, it takes somebody out of the box, and that's exactly what's happened. Now the corner comes in. It's a great punch by Ross, the goalkeeper, though, to get it clear. Jackson picks it up again for County, delivers it back into the penalty area, looking for Ash Palmer, the goalkeeper again. It's a very confident take by the 29-year-old Craig Ross, and then he bowls it out to Casey, the 28-year-old left-back, the skipper, who's brought down by Keane on the halfway line. Free kick Woking.
Yeah, the referee's just trying to say to Jim Gannon it is a free kick, who, let's just say, he doesn't agree with the decision, but it's frustrating to see. County, again, that's 2 corners, not really made anything from them. I want to see. We know that it's in County's arsenal to do this. You know, we know that we've got players like Elliot Osborne, Danny Lloyd, Niall Bell, who are more than capable of getting a goal when it's needed, but we're just not seeing it at the moment.
Casey chuckling there with the officials about that award of a free kick, but it's given nonetheless. The attendance here this afternoon, 2,189, with 310 making the journey down from Cheshire. Free kick Woking, halfway line, long diagonal from Kretschmar, looking for the big centre half DR. It's come all the way through to the far post. It's turned across by Wall, deflected off Hogan, and behind for a corner to the Cards.
Yeah, they're going to come forward with some purpose now. They're throwing all the big men forward. They actually appeal as Alex Wall.
Yeah.
Still, he's standing up now, saying, "How is it not a penalty?" I'm not sure if I saw anything in there that warranted a kick from the spot, but.
Look at the corner routine here, Chris. The clutch of players on the penalty spot. The 2 centre halves, Gehring and Diarra, almost on each other's toes. And Big Jack Cook as well, the right back. He's a tall, powerful figure.
You've got to be so switched on here from a defensive point of view, because they're going to disperse quickly.
And how do you man mark? Right-footed, outswinger. Gehring couldn't quite get there. Comes off Palmer. Osborne keeps it alive for County. That's a great tackle though from Tarpey to put it out for Woking, preventing the swift counter-attack which Osborne was about to launch. Throw into the Hatters. Minihan takes. Keane collects. Gives it back to Minihan, who plays it first time towards Bell. Bell, well, he was always looking for the second ball, Bell, wasn't he? Didn't fancy taking on the challenge, but he's won himself a throw-in nonetheless.
I think we're going to see Festus Arthur in a moment, you know.
Well, I wonder if it's what you suggested earlier, Chris, the back three.
Yeah, I mean, Woking are very, very good defensively, but I don't think Jim Gannon, apart from when they get set piece, like with the corner a moment ago, I don't think he fears them too much coming forward. Wall's a big unit up front, but they've not really utilised him. But defensively, they're so sound.
They break now, though, 3v3. Tarpey down the right-hand side. Looking to get on the end of this, but it's come all the way through to the opposite touchline. Look at Casey, though, motoring down the left. Uses a decoy by Dempsey, who whips it in. And there's Hogan to clear. Didn't make the most of that, really, Woking. But here's Cook now, again from the right flank. Again, it's Ash Palmer who meets it. Powerful header to put it out for a throw-in on the far side. But listen to the home fans, just sensing there might be something in this for them. We are midway through the second half here on Imagine in association with MyDigitalAccounts.com. It remains one apiece. Both goals in the opening 10 minutes. As County, are they going to make a change whilst defending a throw-in from Cook? Well, why not? You might as well get the big man on. Festus Arthur is going to be the substitute.
It's McAlinden who's struggling, who's going to make ways.
McAlinden coming off.
It's funny that the referee's trying to hurry him up. I don't really get the impression that he's trying to... Have County played for time this game? I don't think they have. He's struggled today, I think, Liam McAlinden. Defensively, they are so compact, they're so organised, Woking. You know, we've seen teams pose much more of a threat coming forward. Not that they're blunt, but they're not the sharpest, Woking. But at the back, they are so organised, big and strong. And they've not really given County much of a look in, really.
Clutching his rib cage there, wasn't he, McAlinden, having still been jolted from that challenge from Gehring, which prevented a goal-scoring opportunity. Cook with a long throw again. The glancing header from Dempsey. Arthur's first touch is to nod that down for Walker to smash it away towards the halfway line. Osborne, very brave up against Dempsey. The loose ball picked up by Lloyd. Lloyd looking left and right for support. He's going to have to stay on his own for the time being. Gives it back to Osborne. Osborne riding the challenges. He was pulled back. It's a free kick, is it? Referee's played the advantage. County playing on. Lloyd turns it back to Sam Walker, squares it for Keane. I think he should have given the free kick on that occasion. County would have had a free kick from 25 yards. As it is, it's on the right wing with Sam Minihan. Minihan looking to take on Loza. Loza's trying to track back. He's kept it in play, Loza, and he's defended that brilliantly. Shakes off Sam Minihan, clears it down the touchline, and now it's Woking back on the front foot. And Ash Palmer, what a good ball that is, back to goalkeeper Hinchliffe. But I just wonder there, that was one of those opportunities where there was no advantage. I know we had the ball, Chris, but the advantage would have been a free kick 25 yards out in a central area.
There's a difference, isn't there, between having the ball and having the advantage. And he got one wrong for Woking in the first half. And
Osborne's saying exactly that.
He got one wrong for Woking in the first half, and now he's got one wrong for Stockport County, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, you know, it could have been a shot, it could have been a cross, it could have been anything. But in the end, it came to nothing.
Yeah. You'd rather have a free kick in the middle and a ball wide on the left wing. There's no question about that. He's let the ball run. Ash Palmer's switched off completely. What was he thinking? He stood still and allowed the striker to run through. I don't know why he stopped moving. But Ash Palmer switched off and Wall has fired wide.
Festus Arthur has just gone over to speak to Ben Jackson. I think there's confusion about what the formation is here, because
but that doesn't excuse stopping there, does it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ash Palmer's got to take responsibility for that one, and I'm sure he will. But I think there's just been a bit of confusion, because look how far forward Festus Arthur is.
He's playing as a holding midfielder.
They're all looking at the manager now, asking where are they playing. I think
there's no excuse for that, though. You've got to make sure the ball goes back to your keeper.
When in doubt, I mean.
Yeah.
Right, the game's getting a little bit scrappy and physical now, I think. And there's going to be a booking for a Woking player who's just snapped Liam Hogan down there. no injury, but it was a booking. Someone needs to grab the game by the scruff of its neck here. I think Elliot Osborne's been trying to. Woking almost broke through from nothing just then. But other than that, it's a little scrappy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, County haven't gone to a back three by the looks of things. It looks as though Festus Arthur's just playing as a holding midfielder alongside Keane, with now Sam Walker playing the number 10 role. Elliot Osborne's moved to the right wing, Lloyd to the left, and Bell, of course, still in the middle. But it's unusual to see. I haven't said that. We've seen him play there before.
Well, Jim played him there when he was bringing him into the team, didn't he? The Boreham Wood game springs to mind, when he didn't want to leave Festus in the last line of defence at such a young age. But
he's played it well out to the right wing, but an offside flag denies Osborne the chance to play it back into the box again. I think Woking are considering a change. They've not made a change so far, Woking, which is maybe an indication of how pleased Alan Dowson is with the way his team have played so far. 72 minutes gone. Still 18 to play. Free kick for the offside decision against Osborne. Ross fires it forward. Oh, it's come off the back of Palmer's head. Ash Palmer just struggling a little bit in the last few minutes, conceding a throw-in now. Taken quickly, Kretschmar to Loza. Loza with a chance to cross. Taking on Minihan. He's got support from Casey. Gives it back to... Oh, he tried to give it to Casey, but only gave it to Osborne, who gives it straight back, and that's a foul by Osborne on Loza. Free kick. Oh, the referee's giving it the other way. That's remarkable. Loza holding on to the ball. Festus Arthur trying to get it off him.
You wouldn't want to argue with Festus Arthur, would you? He's a big fella.
Odd decision.
Yeah, I mean, is the referee insinuating that it was a dive? Because that should be a booking if he is, but I don't see how else he could have been penalised.
He's given the handball, hasn't he? Because it wasn't a foul. He's given handball when Loza went down.
Is that not a booking then, if it's deliberate handball?
Hinchliffe fires it forward, looking for Niall Bell. It's headed out by centre-half Diarra, the Frenchman. It's a County throw down the Hatters' right, deep in the Woking half. Sam Minihan to take.
Liam McAllinnan's just gone down the tunnel, by the way, clutching his ribs.
Keane. Minihan. Oh, it's a great cross from Minihan. Lloyd got his head to it. Cook in the end clears. It's still loose on the edge of the box. Keane again trying to get there. Comes back out to Jackson. Squares it now for Minihan. Minihan trying to dink it in. It's a poor ball from Minihan, easily cleared. Comes out to Festus Arthur. That's a better ball. But Niall Bell is pulling his marker Gehring to the ground. And now the change for Woking. 2 changes, in fact, as Chris Riley says. Well, one apiece. It's been a scrappy affair, though, this second half, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm hoping I don't jinx this here, but you can't help but get the feeling there is heartbreak in this for somebody.
Dave Tarpey's going off. Josh Nerthil, the teenage winger who's on loan from Luton, is coming on to replace him. Dave Tarpey, big favourite here, by the way. That's why you can hear the applause. Prolific non-league striker. Scored, of course, at Edgeley Park earlier this year. So he goes off. And the other change is Dempsey making way. Ben Dempsey. He's been replaced by the more defensive-minded Godfrey Poku, who's a former Luton player. Poku likes a yellow card. He's had 10 this season, as well as a red. Has come on. Straight swap in midfield. In fact, both straight swaps. Nerthil replacing Tarpey on the right wing. Coming together here, involving Niall Bell and Ben Gehring. They've both gone down in a heap. The referee has given the home side a free kick. He's been surrounded by red and white shirts, trying to put pressure on them to take action against Bell. Yeah,
it's interesting that the referee's surely just given a talking to. It looks like he is. It looked like potentially an accidental elbow. It might have been more from Niall Bell. It's not going to be treated as such. Just a bit frustrating there for County that, again, they've not really been able to grab a hold of the ball from clearing the lines.
We're in the final 15. It remains one apiece here on Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. It's been a long time since we've seen a goal. Both goals in the opening 10 minutes, but that wasn't an indicator of what was to come. It's been a fairly shot-shy affair since then. Although Woking have hit the crossbar, thanks to some great defending by Liam Hogan at the end of the first half. Been very few opportunities since then.
Elliot Osborne's still full of running. He's pressing everything down, isn't he?
Yeah. Playing as a right-sided attacker now. Palmer heading the ball towards him. He's working so hard to try and win it. He's taken a blow there as he went in for that tackle. He's come off the worst. It was a no foul attempt by Godfrey Poku as Danny Lloyd goes down as well. There are 2 County players down. Lloyd's okay, picks himself up. But Elliot Osborne just had a bang on the knee, I think, the right knee, wasn't it?
Yeah, you heard the slap from up here. It's not a nice noise, and it's a concern seeing Elliot Osborne down, especially because County have made all the subs. I tell you what, John, he's in some pain down there.
Well, he clatter into Godfrey Poku, you know about it. He's a tough character, the holding midfielder, signed from Wealdstone in the summer. He's had a good career with the likes of Luton, Mansfield, Southport, Alfreton, Telford, a really strong non-league midfielder. And he's just having a quick check with Luke Smith. Is Elliot Osborne.
Jordan Keane's just trying to find out, isn't he, what's going on, if Elliot's going to be okay to carry on or not. I think he will be, but he's still down.
Well, we said before the game, or I said before the game, I didn't think a point would be a bad result here. I think if County can leave the Kingfield with what they've currently got, I don't think that'll be a bad return, with Ebbsfleet away to come. A winnable game, one would imagine. And then a home clash with Barnet. And as I say, I think out of these remaining 11, including today, County probably need to win 5 of those. But a point here would not be a bad result, particularly if the next 2 turn into wins. Now Osborne coming over to the touchline, having received treatment. I think he's okay to continue. A drop ball which Sam Minihan is going to fire upfield. He's just complaining that Lazar is too close to him. The referee moving the ball back. Surely it's the player who needs to move. Minihan clears upfield, looking for Bell. He's very isolated, Bell, and that was because Osborne was off the pitch. It's come back into the County half and it's bounced all the way through to Ben Hinchliffe at the other end. 10 to play, 1 apiece.
I just think County, you know, we spoke about it before the game. A draw is not the worst result in the world, but
it's not
really a win. It just does so much for you. Just looking at the live league table, County would sit in 10th still. The results really are going the way, with the exception of Dover. I mean, look at this. Halifax, Yeovil, Notts County, Solihull and Bromley all losing above County. I mean,
and it might only be goal difference keeping us out of the top 7.
Yeah, just... I know we can't communicate that message to the players, and that they're giving 110 as it is, but
that underlines, doesn't it, the benefit of just getting a point here today. Obviously, if you can turn that into 3, that's wonderful. But Jim Gannon, what do? Do you stick or twist? Do you stick with what you've got, or do you gamble to try and find a winner from somewhere?
He's made all 3 subs, hasn't he?
Yeah,
so
knowing Jim, I think he'll be more content to stick with what he's got. As Niall Bell up against Ben Gehring, he's having a tough time, and the referee's just penalised him there for a foul, but it was Bell that ended up on the deck.
He's going to get a booking, you know.
He might well here. What he's saying is that you had hold of Gehring, you were trying to win yourself a free kick, but I saw what you were doing, and it's a yellow card for Niall Bell.
Now we'll have seen Niall Bell, for me, we'll have seen McAlinden go off injured. Frank Mulhern's out on loan, so you think really show some. No one's going to overly criticise you for not getting any change or much change out of these 2 absolute monster centre halves that you're up against. You know, it's not often you see Niall Bell dwarfed by both centre halves that he's up against, but show the belief that you at least think you can get there to it. If you can get past them, you're through on goal.
Casey bundled over by Osborne. Needless foul again by Elliot Osborne. Casey again giggling and laughing in the face of Jim Gannon. think he's enjoying it. The Woking fans berating Jim Gannon.
Jim Gannon's having a go at Elliot Osborne. Elliot's very clearly just turned around and said, I didn't touch him.
He did, though, didn't he?
It looked like he did, yeah.
Now the referee's coming over to have a word with Jim Gannon. You can hear what the Woking fans want.
I don't think they're going to get it.
I've got to say, it was always going to be a foul. It was always going to be a free kick. Dave Conlon's arguing with the home bench. It's all to no avail. It's a free kick to Woking. I'd be more concerned about defending this now.
Yeah.
Delivered from the halfway line. Casey's come for the short one. It's not going to happen, though. Oh, it's a great ball from Kretschmar. It's a great punch from Ben Hinchliffe, dominating his own penalty area there. Fists that away. Poku turns it back to Ross at the other end. He finds Casey, the captain. He's had a good game, by the way, Casey at left back. He picks out Kretschmar on the left wing. Kretschmar shakes off the attentions of Osborne, tries to cross it, blocked by Sam Walker, blocked by Festus Arthur. The ball spirals forward. Ben Hinchliffe trying to prevent the corner, unable to do so. It's a corner to Woking. We've got less than 8 minutes remaining. Woking have a corner in front of their own fans away to our left.
They've got their tails up Woking. The fans are sensing it. The players are starting to believe it. They've also got a player down in the middle of the park, and it's Guerin, you know. He seems to be in some pain. I'm not exactly sure what's happened.
He's landed awkwardly, hasn't he, after an aerial battle there with Bell. He's okay. Picks himself up. He'll want to get forward for this corner. And indeed he does, as he jogs up to the county penalty area alongside his partner in crime, Moussa Diarra, at the back.
Now look at the way County are ready to spring an attack this time with Osborne and Lloyd. They've got to fancy that pace advantage.
They are, but they've got 5 virtually on the goal line to try and keep Woking out. It's a real crowd scene in front of Ben Hinchliffe, who can't possibly see anything. It's an unbelievably congested 6-yard box, and well, I say 6-yard box, really I'm talking about the goal line and the yard or two in front. Look where Ben Hinchliffe's having to stand. This is bizarre. He's almost outside his far post. Now he moves into the middle as the ball's whipped into the near. Great defending from Hogan. It'll be another corner.
Yeah, and
these are horrible, aren't they?
It just plays into that feel for Woking that something's coming for them. They get another corner, then they get another corner.
The only thing you would say, this referee is prone to give free kicks to the defending side. Let's hope that proves to be the case here, because Ben Hinchliffe can't see it. As the ball comes in, it's headed over the bar.
Well, that's a wasted opportunity.
Ferdinand, Kane Ferdinand it was, with an attempt, but County's defenders just doing enough.
Yeah, I honestly, I think he should. I think he'll feel he should have done better there, because okay, they did enough to keep the initial sort of cross away from Ben Hinchliffe, but when that fell onto the Woking player's advancing header, it was a little bit, dare I say, unmarked. He certainly had enough height there to get over the ball, and he just didn't. He sort of snapped at it, and it's gone out of play.
Ferdinand with 4 goals this season. We're in the final 5 here at the Kingfield. Still 1 apiece. It's been a largely forgettable second half. I don't think the pitch has helped, starting to cut up quite badly now, as Hogan heads the ball towards the halfway line. Sam Walker's beaten to it by his opposite number, but he reads it well and collects the second ball. Headed away by Cook this time. Down the County left. There's Ben Jackson, the substitute, to clear. Only as far as Cook again. Cook to Kretschmar, looking for the run of Loza on that far side. He's switched with Nerville. Nerville's come to the left. Loza's gone to the right.
There'll be those listening at home, John, who are sitting uncomfortably listening to this, and I can tell you it's replicated here. I'm not overly confident looking at this. Woking are finishing the game the stronger team.
It's more of a don't lose rather than a must win now for County in this final 5. I think County's best bet really is to try and protect what they've got, and I think that's why Festus Arthur, would he have come on anyway? I know McAlinden was struggling, but I suspect he might have come on anyway. Here's the long throw again from Cook. That led to Woking's opener today. Glancing header, deflected behind. It's a Woking corner. And, well, they finished the first half strongly. And the full-timers are finishing, part-timers rather, of Woking are finishing the second half strongly as well.
Yeah, they look good, don't they? And again, they throw the big men into the box.
Kretschmar to take, right-footed outswinger this time. And it's headed over again by the same player, Kane Ferdinand.
Well, it's because of these chances I don't think they deserve to win it, because that's 2 good chances now he's had. 2 headers that he's not even hit the target on, and both times he's been allowed to just step away from County's back line, position himself in a way that really on target at minimum.
So it remains 1 apiece. Goal kick for County. You're listening to Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. We can't separate these 2 sides. Ironic cheers from the County fans as Gehring pulls Bell to the ground. Gehring might well be booked himself here. Well, for this time, no booking. It is a free kick to the Hatters, midway inside Woking territory. Well, a chance maybe for the Hatters here to snatch victory in the latter stages. Less than 2.5 to play. It's too far out for the shot.
We said there was potential for Heartbreak Hotel stuff, and a County about to see that Woking check in.
Elliot Osborne standing over it. Keane at the far post. Festus Arthur, of course, on the pitch now. Palmer's up from the back. So's Hogan. The ball towards Keane. What a save from the goalkeeper. Diving to his right-hand side. Jordan Keane picked his spot brilliantly. Great delivery from Osborne. And a great save by Ross to keep it at 1 apiece. County have a corner.
Well, if that quality of heading was available for the Woking midfielders, they'd be winning this game by now. That's the kind of header you need. A brilliant header from Jordan Keane, tip wide.
The corner whipped in right-footed, and Ross comes and claims. Well, the goalkeeper has protected Woking from a damaging late goal there. Jordan Keane, I mean, his header, he's picked his spot superbly, and that was arrowing towards the bottom corner, but goalkeeper Ross making a terrific save.
It was from so far out as well. You're talking kind of 16, 17 yards out there.
County 6 attempts, Woking 8. And here comes Nerfville down the left flank. His cross is much too deep though. It'll go out for a throw into the Hatters in County's left back area.
He just lost his footing, didn't he?
Yeah, on the pitch. Yeah. By the way, just must mention, more than 300 County fans making the trip from Cheshire to Surrey today. Fantastic show of support once again from the Blue and White Army, travelling in great numbers. As Bell flicks it on, headed away by Poku. It's another County throw on that left-hand side.
The community is so strong, isn't it, of County fans? They all know each other. It's such a large fan base, but it's such a closely knit one. It really is. You're almost honoured to be a part of it.
Must mention Akito Aoki as well, who, of course, came to watch the win over Bromley last weekend and then joined us for a drink afterwards in the Albert and the Armoury and numerous other places as well. But it was great to see that fan base stretching right around the world, and lovely to see Akito Aoki from Japan visiting Stockport last weekend. Thank goodness the game was on. 3 added minutes as a foul on the far side. Danny Lloyd sticking his leg out. The County fans angry with the referee Alan Dale, but the free kick,
no, it's a County.
It's gone County's way.
Well, it should be, and it's actually a very cynical foul, because Danny Lloyd did really well there to break free from his man, who had both arms around County's left winger, and he's got every right.
He's going to show a yellow, isn't he? To the player on the deck.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one.
Now that's the first sign this whole afternoon that I've seen this Woking side panic.
Yeah.
Danny Lloyd broke free from his man then, and they didn't like it one bit, and he's put both arms around him, and this whole "he's hit me, I've gone down holding my face" is complete show.
Well, Lloyd reacted angrily. Oh, and he's got a yellow as well. Danny Lloyd's also been booked, and he did react angrily, but the referees brought play back for the original offence and given County the free kick. But Lloyd has also picked up a booking alongside Ferdinand.
Well, the cameras are right on top of this, so we'll get a real clear view of it when the highlights eventually come out. But I mean, it's silly that both players have been booked for that. Danny Lloyd had every right to try and get the man off him.
Lloyd lashed out because he'd been held back, wasn't he, by Kane Ferdinand. By the way, that's Kane Ferdinand's 9th yellow card of the season, so I think that tells you everything you need to know. County, by the way, still second in the Fair Play League table, Woking down near the bottom. Free kick, County, just inside the opposition half. We're into stoppage time at the end of the 90, 3 added minutes as Jackson floats this ball. That's a poor delivery, from Jackson. Easily headed away by Wall. Looking for Nerthville. It's taken off his toes by Minihan, who plays it forward. Casey, brave header to get it clear. But Jordan Keane's won it from Poku and found Bell! Oh! Inches away from Niall Bell. What a shot that was from the County substitute. Oh, if that goes in, it's one of the goals of the season. So unlucky for Niall Bell.
Well, he did exactly what we wanted him to do. Show the anger, show the aggression. Jordan Keane's done really well to pick that off the toes, to stop Woking from breaking. Niall Bell's picked it, opened his body up, got his left foot behind it. He's just got it just too much on the outside of that left boot, and the spinner's seen it go the wrong side of the post from a County perspective. But what an effort from Niall Bell.
Well, we said it, Woking were finishing the game strongly, but it's County who've had the better chances in these latter stages. Jordan Keane's header and that pile driver from Niall Bell, which just flashed wide of the upright. What a strike with his left foot as well. Free kick to County, down by the corner flag in that left-back position. It remains 1-1 here on Imagine in association with mydigitalaccounts.com. What about the tackle as well from Jordan Keane to set up the chance for Bell?
He had to get that right, didn't he, because his studs were showing. But he's just picked the ball just nicely out the air, just off the toes of, I think it was Nerthville who was breaking out, and he's just taken it away from him, delivered it nicely. That's what I like about Jordan Keane. That's what he can do well. He wins the ball, plays the simple one, and when you do that, that's the kind of chance you create.
And there goes the final whistle. It is 1 apiece. County still can't beat Woking Football Club, but they've put up a good fight here this afternoon, but it means they have to settle for a point, but that may well be just what the doctor ordered for County, as long as they can take advantage when they go to struggling Ebbsfleet next weekend, and then, of course, take on Barnet the following weekend at Edgeley Park. County took the lead early on in this one, just 5 minutes gone, when Sam Walker's corner was helped on by Adam Thomas, and there was Danny Lloyd to turn it in from close range for his first goal since returning to Edgeley Park. But 5 minutes later, the home side were level. A long throw from Jack Cook landing at the feet of Alex Wall, who tapped it in from close range. And indeed, Woking might have been in front at the break. They hit the bar when an effort was deflected off Liam Hogan from Jamal Lazar onto the crossbar, and County were happy to go in 1-1 at the break. Jim Gannon made a double substitution, bringing on Niall Bell and Ben Jackson at the break, but it was a largely forgettable second 45 minutes until the latter stages, when Jordan Keane headed Elliot Osborne's free kick towards the far post, and what a brave save it was from the goalkeeper as he dived across his goal to turn it round the upright. And then right at the last gasp, Niall Bell with a pile driver in stoppage time, which just curved away at the last minute to deny County a victory on the day. It finishes 1 apiece. Probably a fair result in the end, Chris Ridgway.
Yeah, it's not the result County would have set out wanting at the start of the day. There's still a big mountain to climb, and there's a real opportunity today. We'll have a look at results from around the grounds in a few moments' time as they filter through. But yeah, listen, if County do the business at home and then don't lose away, then you'd have to fancy them for those playoff places. So technically they set that box. I just feel they could have possibly done a little bit more in that final third. The number of chances that they could have created, not quite testing the goalkeeper enough, but listen, they've taken a respectable point against a good, very well organised side, and yeah, we go again next week.
As we say, if you pick up wins in those other games, this starts to look like a very good point, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's similar to Dagenham, John. It's similar to getting a point at Dagenham. You take the context out of the game. You take take the previous games and whatever else, the form of the opposition, and you just look at it as a one-off game, a long way from home. While towards the end of the season, when you've both got something to play for, and it's a good point. It's a good result, but in the grand scheme of things, I can't just help feeling that these have got to, because we played the extra games, we've got to do that little bit more to get over the line. And I know that's demanding a lot, and I know that's asking an awful lot of a team. You've got to remember, just been promoted into this division, but if the playoffs are going to happen, and we've got every reason to dream and believe at this moment that they can happen, games like this, that chance from Niall Bell really has to go in if we're going to get that little bit of magic at the end of the season.
As I say, I think a good point against a side who've won 4 of their last 5 here on home territory. And the big thing as well today, of course, Danny Lloyd's off the mark.
Yeah. Oh, what a relief that will be for him personally. He's the kind of player. How many strikers that are confidence players? He is exactly that. He'll always run. He'll always create chances. He'll always be a menace. He'll always give them something to think about. As we've seen throughout the game today, they didn't like it. Even when Cook went over to take a throw in towards the end of the first half, the manager pulling him back. What are you doing? You're leaving Danny Lloyd on his own. He's always going to be that player to give you something to think about. And the fact that he's now got a goal to his name, he'll. Come Saturday next week, he'll be even more confident. He can go out and get one back at the Cheal End, back at home where he loves playing his football.
And I know we're not scoring many goals at the moment, but I mean the other positive to take today is chances created, isn't it? County are getting into some good positions, and late on there, the Jordan Keane header, the shot from Niall Bell from the edge of the box, both good chances.
Call me cynical, but it's frustrating that we've had to wait until the 88th, 89th minute to kind of test a goalkeeper like that, because we've shown that we have been able to get the ball into that area of the pitch on more than one occasion through the game, but too often it's overplayed, or we lose the aerial battle because we're not aggressive enough. And I don't know. Listen, I wanted to see a win today. I really wanted to see a win today. It is a very, very good performance. I can't take that away from the lads, and they'll go home with the point. And as long as they get a win next week, then it's 4 points out of those 2 long trips. You'd take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as I say, not trying to preempt anything, but Ebbsfleet away, you've got to look at that as a very eminently winnable game, haven't you?
Well, John, I think that's closer to a must-win, and it's A, because the games are starting to run out, but B, if you are going to be taken seriously in the playoff race, then you've got to look at teams such as Ebbsfleet, who are down there, and, if we're being honest, probably already gone, as they have to be 3 guaranteed points. If you look at any of the other divisions, if you look at West Brom in the Championship, Liverpool in the Premier League, if they were to be playing a team right down at the bottom, you think they're going to win that game. They're going to go into that game already believing that they've won it. With showing the respect to go out and actually do the job. County they've got to adopt that mentality now.
Well, honours even here this afternoon at the Kingfield. The Hatters unable to find the winning card against the Cards this afternoon. Danny Lloyd giving County the lead, but then Alex Wall levelling in the 10th minute of the game. Woking hitting the bar late on in the first half, but County with chances to win it late in the second, with Jordan Keane's header brilliantly saved by Craig Ross, and then Niall Bell's pile driver just missing the target in the dying seconds of stoppage time. Honours even at the Kingfield. More reactions still to come, but it's finished Woking 1, Stockport County 1.
It all comes down to this.
Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio with mydigitalaccounts.com, the smart accountant for the digital age, specialising in online accounts and tax returns. Call us today on 0161 925 6162 for a friendly chat about your accounting needs, or visit at mydigitalaccounts.com. Stockport County Live on Imagine Radio with mydigitalaccounts.com, the smart accountant for the digital age, specialising in online accounts and tax returns. Call us today on 0161 925 6162 for a friendly chat about your accounting needs, or visit at mydigitalaccounts.com.
Well, welcome back to Stockport County Live down here in Woking with me, Chris Ridgway, and John Kieran, where County have battled out a 1-1 draw against the Cards. Quick look around the scores in the rest of the grounds in the Vanarama National League. More action down at the bottom today, has to be said. Boreham Wood 1, Yeovil 0. Bromley 0, Wrexham 2. Good result that for County. Chesterfield 4, Ebbsfleet 0. Chorley 0, Barnet 1. Dagenham and Redbridge 2, Solihull 0. Another good result for County. Now, AFC Fylde away at Dover. Remember, they were 1-0 up. They lost 5-1. Dover 5, Fylde 1. Harrogate 3, Eastleigh 0. Hartlepool 2, Notts County 0, Maidenhead 1, Aldershot 2, Torquay 1, Halifax 0. Sutton Barrow is your evening or afternoon kickoff, should I say. That's at 5:20, 20 minutes away from kickoff. What it means for the table is, County out the top 6, out the top 7 even on goal difference. Notts County, Solihull Moors, Bromley and County all on 51 points. What will be frustrating for the Hatters, though, is that County, of course, have played 2 more games than Notts County and 1 more than Solihull. Dover sit 2 points ahead of the Hatters, Yeovil 3. Both of those still have a game in hand on County as well. So 10 games to go, John Kieran. A little bit of work to do for County to get Harrogate 3. It is still within reach. Yes, a win would have been a better result for County today. A loss wouldn't have been as bad as it could have been. We've not got either. We're still punching.
Yeah, 10 to play, but I think you're looking at the winnables, aren't you? So you're looking at Ebbsfleet away as a potential win.
Chesterfield.
Well, I was going to say Chesterfield until you told me that score today, but they played Ebbsfleet, so maybe you'd expect that. But it's the home games, isn't it? It's Barnet, Notts County, Yeovil, Harrogate and Wrexham that you're looking at. I think out of those 10, probably 5 wins would be enough, and that's why these games are so important. To get a point here, I think it was crucial. What we couldn't afford to do today, Chris, was lose.
I think when you take the game into context, we were trying to say a moment ago of just what the mentality is after a game like today, when the players will look at the league table. I mean, they say they don't focus on it. They say they don't think about it. But of course they come straight off the pitch and they'll be asking, what did Bromley do? What did Solihull do? What did Hartlepool do? Etc. Etc. And they'll look at the table and think, was that a little bit of an opportunity missed today? Because if they take that win, then they go on 53 points, and that's 2 points into the playoff places then. Albeit, the teams behind them will have a game in hand, but then the onus is on them, not on us. Listen, Jim Gannon has famously said in the last couple of years, being part of the chasing pack kind of helps you because it gives you something you're consistently chasing, and they will continue to do that. Next week, you've got to fancy a win there. There's more work to do, of course there is. I don't know. Maybe I'll get over this. Maybe I'm just being a bit stroppy. I'd love to have seen a win there.
Bit of bad news as well. We're just hearing that Liam McAlinden has got to go to hospital. So I wonder if it's a cracked rear bore or something of that nature. But he's got to go straight to hospital from here. So that is a real blow from a county perspective. We're thin on numbers anyway. I'm sure it will prompt a recall for Frank Mulhern, or potentially Jim Gannon maybe dipping back into the market to bring in a centre forward. But Liam McAlinden, we're just watching him there, and clearly just clutching his ribs there. He's got to go straight to hospital, I'm afraid.
He looked winded, didn't he? That was my initial thinking, was he was winded, but perhaps there is a bit more, and especially if he's struggling in the way that he is. It almost guarantees, unless Jim does go into the market, which you wouldn't write off at this moment in time, it almost guarantees Niall Bell to start next week. It would have been great if he could have got a goal today.
Yeah, it would. I think he made an impact coming off the bench. I thought he occupied the centre halves. He gave them something to think about. But and wouldn't it have been great to see that shot fly in, because it was a great effort. And I think, if you've got a criticism today, I think there weren't enough players taking those chances from distance. I think that was a case in point. It was good to see him do that.
John Kieran, you're absolutely right. Thank you ever so much. Today it's finished here down in Woking. Stockport County 1, Woking 1. John Kieran said before the game you would have taken a point providing you do the business in the other games. Well, that's what County have done, and with the results going their way today, the race for the playoffs is well and truly on. Next week it continues away at Ebbsfleet, a game you can hear in full as always here on your Stockport County station, Imagine Radio. It's Stockport County Live signing off. Very good night to you. It's finished here 1-1.